What a story this is turning out to be. Prince Harry, once the golden boy of the royal family, once adored by millions, now reduced to begging for help. And not just any help. No, this time, it's a full-blown royal humiliation that has shaken Buckingham Palace to its core. If you thought his bombshell memoir Spare or that explosive Oprah interview were shocking, brace yourself, because this latest drama is on another level altogether. Reports are swirling that Harry actually reached out to his own father, King Charles, with a desperate plea for a jaw-dropping $10 million loan from the sovereign grant. Yes, you heard that right. Taxpayer-funded royal money, the very same privilege Harry and Meghan publicly turned their backs on in 2020 when they stormed out of royal life. And the timing? Right before his big appearance at the Wellchild Awards, the charity event that should have been his shining feel-good moment. But wait, it gets worse. Not only did King Charles flat out refuse, but Prince William himself allegedly swooped in with a cold, cutting response that has everyone's jaws on the floor. "You are not royalty." Those 4 words, reportedly straight from Harry's own brother, sliced right through whatever fragile ties were left between them. Imagine hearing that from your flesh and blood, your older brother, the future king. The humiliation is catastrophic, and Harry is at the center of it all. Now let's talk about why this request is so controversial. Harry's plea wasn't just a son asking his dad for a favor. This was a direct demand for money that ultimately belongs to the British taxpayers. And the cruel irony, he's the one who walked away from that very system, declaring loudly that he and Meghan wanted to be financially independent. Remember that glossy announcement in 2020, where they promised they'd build a new life free of royal constraints? Well, if the leaks are true, this desperate request proves just how badly that plan has crumbled. Sure, they signed splashy deals with Netflix and Spotify, but what came of them? The Netflix docuseries was torn apart for being repetitive and overly dramatic. The Spotify deal was canceled after one lonely series, with executives mocking Harry and Meghan as grifters. Add to that their $14 million Montecito mansion, private jet trips, and security costs that bleed millions every year, and you start to see the real picture. This isn't just a desperate ask, it's a humiliating admission that their grand Hollywood empire is falling apart at the seams. And then there's the Wellchild Awards. This should have been Harry's redemption arc. For more than a decade, he's been the patron of this heartfelt charity supporting seriously ill children. Every year he shows up, hugs families, sheds tears. It's usually a moment that reminds the public of the compassionate prince they once admired. But this year, instead of headlines about his dedication to these kids, the whole event is being overshadowed by the scandal of his $10 million plea. Critics are calling it a PR stunt, an attempt to look like the caring prince again, while secretly scrambling to secure a lifeline back home. The optics are brutal. Here we have a prince who trashed his family in a memoir, cashed in on intimate secrets and Netflix deals, and now shows up hat in hand, begging for money to attend a charity gala. Even if Harry's heart is in the right place, the way this is splashing across the media makes him look like a man clinging to the scraps of his former royal life. And honestly, that's exactly what critics are screaming. King Charles's refusal is more than just a personal rejection. It's symbolic. In the past, the royals were known for keeping family matters behind closed doors. But Charles's no is loud, clear, and public. He's been working hard to streamline the monarchy, cut unnecessary spending, and prove to the British public that he's a modern king from modern times. Handing over millions to a son who abandoned his duties would undo all of that. Insiders say Charles does feel sympathy for Harry, but he's drawing a line in the sand. If Harry wanted independence, well, this is what it looks like. And then comes William. Oh, William. His alleged words, "You are not royalty," aren't just a jab, they're a dagger. William has long been seen as the steady heir, the dutiful one, the man preparing to be king. And after years of Harry's scorched earth interviews, Netflix projects, and lawsuits, William's patience is gone. To him, Harry isn't a victim anymore. He's a man who betrayed his family for fame, and now he's reaping what he sowed. By refusing to help, William is sending a clear message: you chose this path, now live with it. William's stance has shocked some, but for many it feels like long overdue justice. Think about it. How many times has Harry thrown his family under the bus? From Oprah's truth bombs to Netflix's overly staged revelations to that memoir Spare, where he even detailed intimate family arguments and exposed William's temper, it's been endless. William, once known for biting his tongue, seems to have reached the end of the road. And his sharp remark, "You are not royalty," is more than a personal dig. It's a public declaration that Harry has lost his place in the institution forever. Royal watchers point out that William isn't being cruel for the sake of cruelty. He's sending a message not just to Harry, but to the world. The monarchy will not bend, not even for the king's own son. William has stepped up massively since Queen Elizabeth's death, carrying the weight of royal duties alongside his wife, Princess Kate. He doesn't have time or patience for Harry's never-ending drama. To him, protecting the crown is more important than protecting his younger brother's pride. And if that means slamming the door shut on Harry, then so be it. The whole situation paints Harry as a cautionary tale. Remember, this was once the prince who had it all. He had the titles, the honor, the military career, the global admiration. He was Diana's boy, the cheeky charmer who captured hearts worldwide. But fast forward to now, and what do we see? A disgraced duke, running out of allies, begging the very institution he vilified to bail him out financially. It's tragic, it's humiliating, and it's self-inflicted. Harry and Meghan's California fairy tale has quickly turned into a financial nightmare. Their $14 million Montecito mansion looks stunning in photos, but behind the gates lurks a financial black hole. Sky-high property taxes, endless maintenance, staff salaries, it's a money pit. Add in the millions spent yearly on private security, especially after losing taxpayer-funded protection when they stepped down, and you can see why Harry is feeling the pinch. He even sued the British government to try and get his UK police security back, an expensive legal battle that's still dragging on. Yes, Harry earned millions from his memoir, but critics slammed it as oversharing and whining. The initial buzz has faded, and the book hasn't given him the long-term stability he clearly hoped for. And let's not forget their popularity problem. Once adored in the US as a glamorous power couple, surveys now show American audiences are growing tired of their constant complaints. In the UK, their popularity has cratered even further, hitting rock bottom. What was supposed to be freedom has turned into isolation, leaving them stuck between two worlds. Too royal to blend in with Hollywood elites, yet too rebellious to return to the Windsor fold. And that's why King Charles's refusal stings so deeply. His rejection wasn't just about money, it was about drawing a boundary. Charles has been very vocal about creating a leaner monarchy, cutting costs, and modernizing the crown. Giving millions to his Hollywood son would outrage taxpayers and undermine his credibility. Insiders whisper that Charles does care for Harry, but he sees bailing him out as enabling a lifestyle that's neither sustainable nor respectful of the monarchy. It's the king saying, if you wanted out, you got out. The Wellchild Awards, meanwhile, should have been Harry's safe space. A rare chance to shine for all the right reasons. He's been patron for over a decade, and the charity has real emotional ties for him. Usually, this event is covered with glowing headlines about his compassion and connection with the children, but not this year. This year, every photo, every handshake, every speech is overshadowed by whispers of that desperate $10 million request. Instead of headlines about Harry's kindness, the world is talking about Harry's humiliation. Critics are ruthless. They argue Harry isn't showing up to help sick children, he's showing up to help himself, to claw back a shred of sympathy and connection to the UK. The optics are brutal. A man who torched his bridges now trying to walk back across the ashes, hoping the public will forget. But people aren't forgetting. If anything, the scandal has made his desperation clearer than ever. And here's the symbolism that cannot be ignored. This is the monarchy saying no. Not behind closed doors, not in private, but publicly and firmly. Charles and William together have drawn a line, effectively telling Harry he's no longer part of the machine. That door he thought he could leave open for emergencies, slammed shut. And the humiliation of being told, you are not royalty by the very brother who once had his back. That's the kind of wound that doesn't heal. What makes this worse is how the public sees it. For decades, Harry was the relatable prince, the one who seemed more down to earth than William, the one people rooted for. He was the cheeky young man walking behind Diana's coffin, the soldier who fought in Afghanistan, the prince who launched Invictus Games and made the world cheer. Now, he's the butt of jokes. Late-night hosts mock his failed deals, tabloids blast his crumbling brand, and polls show him sinking lower and lower in approval ratings. The man who once embodied hope is now reduced to a walking cautionary tale. And Meghan, this is not the glamorous Hollywood future she envisioned. She thought stepping away from the crown meant freedom, global fame, and endless opportunities. But instead, the brand they tried to build is faltering. The projects are drying up, and the royal family isn't riding in to save the day. This isn't the fairy tale they promised. It's a nightmare playing out in real time.